Now it's time to press buttons and talk with Manky and ProZD.
Those are some very large.
They're very. It looks like curly hair, like wigs.
They look like French fries.
No, they look more like curly hair wigs.
I think they look more like French fries. Vote in the comments. Ding, ding, ding.
Don't look like
battle.
They're not curly unless they're a curly fry.
Curly fries.
Yeah, but they don't even look. Curly fries don't stick like in a perfect like tube like that.
Got them, guys.
No, it fucking looks like a wig or something.
All right. Anyway, objection. Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was
Jesus.
me. I don't know. The victim, of course.
Godot just inserts himself and I
don't know if it'll make me win the case. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
Chocolate. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer?
He wasn't wearing gloves.
Oh yeah. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Where's that buzzer? Where's that buzzer? There were no fingerprints on it. Yeah, what the dick? I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
The emergency buzzer?
I pried it right off the wall and brought it into court.
You shouldn't have. Take a photo next time. Is there some kind of clue on it?
I want to press it.
It won't do anything.
I want to press it.
I want to press it.
It still works. I'll bet it does. Absolutely not. It will not work at all.
Why don't we try it? Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to pressing the button and to what you say before opening your mouth.
Guys, I'm going to sneak down there and press the button when Phoenix isn't looking. Here I go. Go back to your seat. I can see you. The fact that there are there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
Go back!
Sure. I think you saw me, guys.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
Do you think he saw me? This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had... Okay, press it. Just go ahead.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
This sucks. I'm going to go with another trial.
All right, have fun.
Please do.
Please don't come back. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally, he would have left his fingerprints behind. I'm really bummed out about that buzzer.
We're going to go to the next trial, too. I hear they're doing snakes on a plane night.
But Ron Delight obviously wiped them off.
Objection! Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment.
He touched that button. I know he did.
Objection! The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Mask to Mask. And Mask to Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have to wipe the button free of fingerprints?
Well, maybe he was dipping his fingers in ketchup right before.
That's what I do.
Order! It would seem I've been forced to eat crow.
Oh, there's crow in there?
You don't want it.
I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is.
This is just pureed crow and bones.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? Well...
The judge is actually being really smart in this one.
What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden?
The characters kind of pass the stupid ball around a lot from case to case.
Ha! It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
Oh, I still got one. They're on to you, Nick. Do the thing.
Shadow puppets. It looks kind of like a dog.
Holy shit, it does almost look like a dog.
That looks like a hand. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that wasn't my intent, but okay.
Hey, it's a human hand. How did I do
what?
that?
How did he do that?
It's exactly like a human hand. Ah!
It's a shadow of a hand. That's not the trick.
Just give me a moment to collect my thoughts. Now that I have wowed the Charlie Brown adults with the shadow hand trick, the real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Oh, now it went off. It was like 10 minutes ago you pressed that button. That's weird. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond?
Time's up, Mr. Wright.
Ah, shit.
Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then.
Oh ho, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer?
For fun. Probably to call the guard, I guess. 'Cause they wanted him to be found with the body, maybe?
That or they didn't mean to.
Well, Phoenix just made a point about the guard was supposed to come running, so it sounds like that's what this is leading to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To get that guard. The real killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running, 100 of them, in fact.
I just thought that was so obvious, but...
Well, sometimes
it's
you
right
gotta spell it out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose?
Purpose. Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. None of them did. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
And his dick cleaned.
Ha! What a touching story. Not the dick cleaning part. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in?
No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead.
And sad.
The defendant, Rhonda Light, who was out cold.
And also sad.
And the 3rd person, the real killer.
Who was square.
Probably Godot.
Probably a Minecraft man.
Hypothetically, yes. Maybe not the Minecraft part.
I don't know, creepers kill people all the time. They just blow right up. And that's why he wasn't there.
Is that what creepers do? I've never actually played Minecraft.
Yeah, you hit them and then they like turn into a little bomb and they blow up and ruin your shit.
Cool.
Now then, you should play Minecraft, I guess, if you want to. It's still fun, but it has kind of passed its day and age. In this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Rhonda Light. And if any security guards came running in at the time, they would think that I was the murderer.
Rhonda Light sounds like a dessert. I'll have the Rhonda Light.
Yeah, I'd try it. Probably be cinnamon. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective.
Cinnamon and shit.
It's just like his hair like removed and like put on a plate in that shape.
That would be like I'm sure there's an Ace Attorney cafe that's done that or something.
Yeah, probably. Or like a popsicle. To frame Rhonda Light for the murder.
This
This is just a theory I'm working on. I mean,
it's all his sound effects. And
oh shit, where's my coffee? I'll just use spit.
Don't just spit! God, it's worse than the coffee. Order!
Ha! It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. At least you had something. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're going to drag that person in here right now by his stupid ear. But, who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB Security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Rhonda Light for the murder?
Sorry, I'm so thrilled to answer.
The murder.
There's not even like any... Yeah. He's like the only proper suspect, I guess. So everybody else is like a recurring fun character, and they could have been Larry Butts, I guess.
I wish.
Detective
I wish
Luke
Larry would get his head cut off.
I do wish that sometimes. All the time, actually. Detective Luke Atmey. He's the only one who could have done it.
Ace Detective.
Luke Atmey?
You mean Master Mask did it?
Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us in that fun court trial that everybody seems to be having such a good time at is not Master Mask at all. In fact, that trial sucks.
They got 8 fondue pots over there.
Shit, 8? God. Put it past you. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard.
Fondue, what? Chocolate, cheese, pizza?
This trial sucks.
Dill pickle?
Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Theft and murder are bad. Which is the more serious crime?
They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Cutting off the head.
Please remember the trial from yesterday if you would. Remember him? When Luke Atmey confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Big party broke out.
Of course. A famous detective was unmasked as, well, as masked a mask.
Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny, which is way more fun. That was his true objective all along.
To be found guilty.
Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atmey's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi.
A guilty verdict. As an alibi?
I'm going to the other trial.
This is so boring.
Shit. Ugh.
You're not even paying attention, are you?
No.
You know, it's almost time.
I'm thinking about that fondue.
For what?
For Luke Atmey's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course...
What, do they just lock him away in the vault as soon as he's convicted?
Yeah, the Disney vault. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder.
Ugh, I forgot about that part.
Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country.
Wow.
If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal.
Really? That would... the entire country would be interested? I mean, I guess...
Well, it's like one of the big national, like, cases, I guess.
Nah,
Sometimes.
This is no O.J. Simpson trial. It's like a guy stole some stuff.
Apparently it is, and it lasts like 2 hours. Am I really sure about this?
Ha! A bet's only good when your life's the ante.
Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight believes in me. So please, I'm begging you. Turn the lights back on, please. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Hi, Mia. Phoenix. Huh. But what was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. Am I high? That voice. It sounds like... Mia! Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Ha! So that's your answer, huh?
Very well. I've decided as well.
Usually the Charlie
I'm
Brown
bored.
adults are so excited, but there's none left.
This court will now take a 20-minute recess.
Yay!
Oh, there's one.
The Charlie Brown adult.
Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand.
Why don't you go with your friends, bud?
I don't like those guys.
Oh, geez, that's sad. Yes, Your Honor. You don't have to run with a crowd like that if you're not into them, I mean...
Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where else to go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that he's running it. This is you, right?
Well, sure, Detective Atmey. What's so
I
funny?
have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Yeah, I did like a whole song and dance number, and this fondue was like, oh, this is the best trial
I love this
I've ever
trial.
had in my life. Oh no, Sir Detective Atmey, you were the one who ate all the fondue. Am I this guy?
Yeah. He's Canadian.
Oh yeah, that's enough. Oh shit, that's enough. I've got to think.
If you want, you could go like, hey, this court sees no reason.
This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atmey. Turn the lights back on, please. I know we're going hard, but
You're going Irish there.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, you'll figure it out.
It's all tricky.
Yeah.
Don't hand down your verdict yet, please!
Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom.
This place, there's a bouncy castle and everything. Who's this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmey. Accusation? You accuse Master Mask? You can take Phoenix.
That man is not Mask the Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer.
What?
That's the face of an innocent guy for sure.
Yeah. Wow. To be continued on the next episode, press buttons and talk. We'll go finish this trial and convict Luke Atmey.
Maybe have some fondue along the way.
Yeah, get some on the way out.